make sure that's really the donut that you want, not the one that you wanted a year ago or 6 months ago or 5 years ago, or when you were in high school and you graduated, you said, well, this is what I'm going to do. And now you're 35, 40, and you're still trying to beat down the same doors. Like, make sure it's really the donut that you want. And if it is, try to find some other paths that might sharpen your saw so that you can get to that donut.
Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a motivational keynote speaker, and today I am bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with the one and only Glenn Lundy. Let me tell you just a little bit about Glenn. He's a husband to one, father to 8, an automotive industry expert, and the president of the 800% Elite Automotive Club, plus the host of the Rise and Grind morning show. Welcome, Glenn.
Well, thanks for having me. I didn't bring a donut though, but I have a cookie.
One of these days somebody's going to bring a donut and it's going to be the best thing that's ever happened.
Man, I went.
Gauntlet thrown down.
We had donuts in my house too. I almost took one, but I didn't take one. Man, I should have done it.
We'll have to have you back. But you know, why not ask this question up front? What's your favorite donut? Maybe it's the ones you have in your house.
Yeah, so it is the ones that we have in my house. So there's a place called Spalding's, I believe. No, that's not the name of it. What is the name of the Frank's? Sorry, there's a place called Frank's in Paris, Kentucky, and in Lexington, Kentucky, and they have the best donut, just glazed with a little chocolate frosting is all you need, and it's phenomenal. Like, they are the best donuts on the planet.
That sounds amazing. Everybody go to Frank's.
Go to Frank's. It's like it's interesting. It's a Frank's donut, but it's like a Hispanic place. Like, it's like authentic Hispanic folks in there making these amazing donuts. It's amazing.
Oh, perfect. Well, I said just
you love donuts.
I really do. I mean, like, you can see, I have to get focused again because you just put me on this track. Stay focused. Stop thinking about donuts. We can do this.
We can do this. We can
my
get
gosh.
through this.
So I said just a little bit about you up front, but tell us more about yourself. What should we know about you?
Oh, I don't know. Those are the main things. Those are the really important things. My wife is really important to me. My kids are super important to me. 800% Elite Automotive, that's training and consulting. I work with owners and general managers of car dealerships all over North America. And then my daily morning show, Rise and Grind, been doing that for 6 years now. We've done about 1,500 episodes of that particular show. So that's been cool. Just recently wrote a book called The Legacy Titles, 12 Proven Principles to Grow Your Business 800%. And so that's cool. And I like cookies and a little bit of Gatorade every now and again.
Well, I mean, these are the things. I say, what should we know about you? Cookies and Gatorade somehow become part of the conversation. Donuts become part of mine. This is it. This is what we're doing today.
This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing today. Yeah,
I love it. Well, look, this is a Take the Doughnut interview. For those of you who aren't familiar with what that is, it all comes from this strange thing that happened to me when I was in college, where I left an actual donut on the table, and it became an object lesson for me in what it looks like when you leave opportunity behind. So I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take the donut. And so it's a metaphor. It's all about going after opportunity. And that's what this conversation is as well. This conversation is all about what it looks like, practically speaking, when we leave opportunity on the table or we don't seize those moments. So one question I'd love to ask to start with is just in general, how are you with going after goals? What is that process like for you?
Yeah, so I'm a visionary. I'm a big visionary person. I love dreaming and I love dreaming big. I write goals every single day. I write down my goals, and sometimes they're consistent, sometimes they're not. But that's okay with me. Like, we set a path, and then sometimes the universe, environments, experiences can change those paths, right? And so I think it's important that we have goals, and it's also important that we are present and in the day and in the moment, and it's okay for those things to change. But yes, 800% is all built around, goals, big goals, growing in all different areas of our lives, from our faith to our families, to our friends, to our finances and our careers, in our fitness, in our mental health, and our education, all those 8 areas, the 8 main pillars of life. Growing in each of those areas is really important to me.
I love that. When you talk about going after big goals, a lot of times that's going to take repeated effort, consistency, a little bit of progress over a long period of time. How do you stay motivated in that process?
I don't a lot of times. And I don't think motivation has anything to do with the ability to achieve a goal. It's really, we have to be motivated to start initially, to have an idea or a concept that we're going to chase. But the motivation goes away quickly, and it's really just discipline, systems, and routines. So I go at, there's 2 different kind of, depends on which type of goal it is. But like right now, for example, at the beginning of the year, my wife bought me a drum set for Christmas. I'm 46 years old. I've never played drums before in my life, but I just thought it would be cool to learn to play the drums. And so she bought me a drum set for Christmas, and I am applying the compound, I call it CDCD. So consistent discipline compounded daily equals transformation. So I practice 18 minutes a day of playing the drums. And some days I feel like it, and sometimes I don't feel like it, but it's 18 minutes a day, and it's every day. And I know that if I practice 18 minutes a day, at some point, somewhere down the road, that will compound, and I'll be able to play a song on the drums, which will be super cool, right? And so I do that a lot when it goes, if I'm going to set a goal, I'm like, okay, I'm committing to 18 minutes a day of learning this new trade, skill, practice, whatever it is. And then the second component of my goal setting is I really like to use, Keller Williams broke down something for me a long time ago called the 1-3-5 grid, which is, here's the one goal. What are the 3 priorities that I would need to happen in order to achieve that goal? And then what are 5 activities under each priority that I can do? And I'll run those in like 90-day windows. So for example, for our business, we have a big overarching goal. We all know what our priorities are when it comes to paid marketing, organic marketing, and stages and events. And then what are the activities under there that make those things work? So I kind of use those 2 things. If it's a new task, new talent, it's 18 minutes a day. If it's some big thing for the group or the organization, I'll use a 1-3-5 grid.
You have a lot of structure.
I have to have
You've
it,
got a tried and
man.
true system here.
I have to have systems and processes for everything. Acronyms, systems, process. I'm like a caveman, dude. It's got to be so simple and so easy, and then I can just do the work. Like, I have never had a problem doing the work as long as I have a system to work with it.
Well, I'm curious, when it comes to challenges that come up along the way, are there any particular kinds of challenges that just seem to always rear their ugly head? Is there something that consistently is like your Achilles heel that just comes up kind of no matter what you're up to?
I would say for me, Achilles heel, it's something that I worked on last year, so I'm better about it, but really allowing time to for things to really come to fruition, right? Like, I'm like, cool, let's go, let's get after it. Like, I was talking to my wife, I'm like, honey, I am a sprinter. I've always been a sprinter. My company runs like sprinters, but we really need to start long-term thinking. We need to be more like marathon runners. And my wife goes, well, there's only one way you're ever going to shift from a sprinter to a marathon runner. And I was like, what's that? She goes, you got to run a marathon. Now, at the point, I'd never ran like anything more than like 2 miles. So I'm like, well, that's crazy. You go run a freaking marathon. I don't want to run a marathon. And then I was like, she's right though, right? So then my brain immediately went to, what is the fastest way I could train to get to the freaking marathon as fast as humanly possible, right? Like, my brain wanted to sprint to running the marathon. And it's like, no. We got to take our time and train properly and allow these things to marinate. And so last year I did marathon training. I didn't actually officially run a marathon, but I did run 20 miles in my training and got everything I wanted out of it. So that's been an Achilles heel of mine for 45 years, is always wanting things to happen super fast. And I'm just now starting to really learn and realize that like the great, really impactful stuff takes time to truly develop and blossom.
It's a really interesting way to rewire your brain that she suggested. Like, just do the opposite thing.
Right.
The thing that you
Exactly.
definitely can't sprint at. And, there's bound to be some change that happens in your brain from that process. So I
Yeah,
like
no
that
doubt.
approach.
It was definitely a life-changing experience training for a marathon for 5 months.
Well, on that or a similar subject, what would you say is the biggest donut you've ever taken? So if you think about whatever comes to mind, personal, professional, biggest opportunity you've seized.
Yeah, I like to seize opportunities. There's been a lot. Like I've done some pretty cool stuff. I've been able to walk into some pretty cool rooms and experience some pretty cool things. Um, I think the biggest, and this is going to sound weird, Melissa, but maybe I think you'll understand. I'm the guy that will go into the left lane because it's shorter than all the cars in the right lane, even if I need to turn right. Does that make sense? Like my wife will get in line 50 cars deep for an intersection that's happening way up there, and there'll be no cars over on the other side. And I'm like, I'm just going to go where there's no cars and I'll figure out a way to get into where I need to turn down the road. And maybe some people think I'm a jerk because of that. But I know that's not a big thing, but like that's how my mind constantly works. And so because my mind is always like that, I won the greatest speaker in America. There was 27,000 people that competed. And, first thought is, oh, there's 27,000 people. There's no way I'll win this thing. And to me, it's like, no, just jump in there because who knows? You might, right? And I end up winning the entire competition. I've met tons of amazing people, speakers and celebrities and so on and so forth. Like if I love somebody's book, I'll just write them a letter. I love your book. We should hook up. We should connect. Like, I don't care who it is. And 95% of the time you'll get a response. You'll be like, this is the craziest thing ever, but nobody else will do that. No one else will take that donut. I'll pay for the VIP ticket at an event, even if I can't necessarily afford it, but just to get in the room, like, let's go. So there's lots, but if I were to put it into a shortened answer, I would say I jump in the lane with the least amount of cars every chance I get.
Beautifully said. It's hard to sum it up when you feel like there's a lot of potential ways to answer that question. So
Yeah.
I like where you went with it. Are
Thank
there any donuts that you're trying to take right now? Anything currently in progress?
So with my book release, um, we're really pushing the book. We did something unique with the audio experience. Instead of just doing a regular Audible book, we narrated it, I narrated the book, and then we did some audio engineering around it, and we did some like podcasting in between the chapters and really created this audio experience. And so as far as taking the donut, the way I'm looking at it is, instead of promoting a book, we're promoting an experience. And whether you're interested in the concept of the book or the title of the book or what's in the book or not, I don't care. I just want you to be so intrigued by the experience that you'll go download the book, right? And so that's something that right now we're trying to capitalize on, is just creating a new experience that hasn't really been done before and seeing if we can't make an impact in unique and powerful ways.
Outstanding. Well, I feel like you've been giving lessons to us the whole way through, but there may be people listening to this who have a donut they want to take. they don't know what to do next. You're not sure. Maybe they've stalled. They were making progress. They're not, or maybe they haven't even started yet. So let's sprinkle some encouragement. And what would you say to those people who just need a little encouragement to keep taking the donut?
Well, I would say maybe make sure that it is the donut that you really want. And here's what I mean by that. I was talking to Eric Thomas. Some people know E.T., the hip hop preacher, #1 motivational speaker in the world. And I was talking to Eric and I said, Eric, how do you know, like, if you're banging on a door, man, like and it's just not opening, right? Like you're just banging your head. Like, how do you persist to get that door open? And he looked at me and he said, I don't. He said, if it's really that difficult, that challenging, that frustrating, it's creating a negative experience for me, then maybe now's not the right time, or what's on the other side of that door isn't actually what's in the best interest for me. There could be a door just to my left, or a donut just to your left, or a donut just to your right that would be much easier to go take. And just because you walk away from the one donut doesn't mean you can't come back to it later. But there might be a skill that you need to learn. There might be an experience that you need to have, right? And if you're so one-tracked on this donut and you're not getting anywhere, you could be missing opportunities to sharpen your tools in other ways. And so I would just suggest, like, make sure that's really the donut that you want, not the one that you wanted a year ago or 6 months ago or 5 years ago, or when you were in high school and you graduated, you said, well, this is what I'm going to do. And now you're 35, 40, and you're still trying to beat down the same doors. Like, make sure it's really the donut that you want. And if it is, try to find some other paths that might sharpen your saw so that you can get to that donut.
I feel like you just spoke directly to 20-year-old me. Like I put myself back in time and I was like, what would I want younger me to know?
That's awesome.
Maybe up through the age of 30. I don't know. I mean, you could argue, you can make arguments here.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness. It's such good advice. And some of us really need it. For sure, specifically 20-year-old me. So, where can we find you? Tell us where we can find whatever you're up to, or anything that you want to shout out. Are there any links that I should put in the description here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can go to glennlundy.com and learn more about different things. We also do, I'm a big fan of, if you change the way you start your day, it'll make a massive impact in your life. And so that's why I have a daily morning show. I've also got a free ebook that people can go download at themorning5.com, themorning5.com. It's just a quick little 5 simple things that you can do every single morning to that lead to an extraordinary life. So you can go download a free copy of that, or head to glennlundy.com. We can connect. I'm all over social media. I don't know what it is about my name. I'm like the only Glenn Lundy in the United States of America that cares about social media, apparently. So if you just type in Glenn Lundy, you'll find me all over the place.
That's wild. I would not have thought that.
It's amazing. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess every other Glenn Lundy on the planet doesn't give a dang.
That's not how they want to communicate. Cool. That works out for you.
Just all, I don't know. Maybe they've all built their wealth and they're just happily hiding in piles of billions of dollars. I don't know, but there's none of them on social.
It's the same with Melissa Forziat, but I would not expect to see a whole lot of people with my name out there. So right. This is a really unique thing for you. I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm like, let's go. So yeah, come look me up. Let's hang out.
Well, everybody be sure to check out those resources. And if you liked hearing Glenn's story, which of course you did, let's face it, be sure to like and subscribe on this video. We got plenty more inspirational interviews still to come. And in the meantime, Glenn, thank you so much for taking a little time, giving your thoughts on this subject, and encouraging everyone to take the donut.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, everybody, you know what to do. Get inspiration, get donuts. Bye.